familiar with the series were you when you signed on?
Zero familiarity. I mean, I got told to read it, but just for the movie, and like about 5 months, I guess, before I actually did the casting. And I was in London. I wasn't even doing acting, and so I never got around to reading it. But yeah, I read the whole series in the weekend after I did the audition, specifically so I could do the part. I mean, but I didn't read them before the audition. I didn't even know what it was.
So how did you cope with that in the audition? How were you able to go in there with a blank slate?
Well, I mean, I read the script, and I'd read the script, and I was like, I'm not going to get this anyway. There's no, there's no point doing any research. And I read the first 40 pages of the book, and I was just like, there's zero chance I'm going to get this part. So I came in and I was freaking out as well when I went in. But then, I don't know, just the way Kristen was playing it, it kind of shocked a performance out of me, which I hadn't thought of at all.
Why didn't you think you had a chance?
I mean, when you read the beginning, when Edward's introduction is just sort of saying, "Oh, he's so heartbreakingly beautiful." I mean, every single every paragraph there's like a thing. I mean, I remember I stopped reading it when it said, "Even in the rain, he looked like he was in an underwear commercial or something," or a hair gel commercial. And I was like, "Oh, Jesus, there's no way." So yeah, and also I thought like, there's a strong possibility that the performance would have to be really, really camp and like kind of silly, which I don't think it is. I hope. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of why.
Did you base your opinion of what Edward was off of the books?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, but also I was very aware of the fact that it's written from Bella's perspective, who's completely in love with him. So, and that's kind of a lot of the ways that I could get away from having to play beautiful, beautiful, beautiful all the time. It's just like you could be anybody because it's just Bella seeing a creature, and anyone who you're in love with, you can't see their flaws, and I kind of saw it as a metaphor, I guess. And if you weigh up the facts of his existence, there's a lot more complexity than it seems like on the page. I did tons of physical training, and like I think there's a thing about running which was good for it. Just a lot of isolation things were good for the part. I mean, I didn't talk to anyone for ages, and because I wanted to not be able to like kind of communicate with people like as if I hadn't talked to anyone for ages, which I hadn't. I was in Portland and I went to this bookshop called Powell's Bookshop, which is the most amazing bookshop I've ever been to, and I literally went there every single day and I've never done so much reading in my whole life. I read a lot of Martin Amis. I mean, that wasn't really to do with Twilight. I don't know what I read to do with Twilight. I read some Virgil, which I gave to Kristen for inspiration or whatever.
Was she inspired by it?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't think she read it. And I used to go to the gym for about 5 hours a day. Then I started just losing so much weight, and I had to look like an alien. So my head started to look really like abnormally huge in comparison to my body. And then Catherine came up. She was like, "What are you doing to yourself?"
Did you have to gain weight afterwards?
Yeah, I just stopped exercising before the shoot.
That must have felt nice, a little relaxation,
yeah,
right?
Literally just eating the first cheeseburger after like 2.5 months of doing that. It's amazing. It tastes like ambrosia. Yeah, I literally stopped exercising the first day before the first day of shooting. And then the first shot on the first day, I almost ripped my hamstring just trying to lift up Kristen. I wasn't even doing a stunt.
Let's talk about how you had such natural chemistry when you first got on set. Would you have been able to fake it if you didn't have that, or was that vital to the shoot?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I still don't know if I was faking it the whole time. I mean, I have no idea. But it's... and I guess we definitely had a strange dynamic. Like, it didn't feel like... I mean, it was kind of... I mean, I was just quite intimidated by it at the beginning. And it's weird. And then at the same time, I thought, you're younger than me, you can't intimidate me. And so you're kind of like fighting against yourself the whole time, which I guess kind of worked for it.
Why were you so intimidated?
She's just like... don't know, just something about her that she, like in the test, she's like. I don't know, there's like a fearsomeness, if that's a real word. Fierceness, not fearsomeness. Yeah, it just seems like she's got like there's an anger behind her quietness, and also she doesn't feel the need to speak. Like I always find that literally freaks me out. I have to keep talking the whole time. And like someone who just sits there and like just doesn't say anything. It's like, yeah, someone, like, it's always really embarrassing.
But you're able to work it out, and you actually developed the chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, it became like a really strange. It was like it really was like because every scene is like literally every single scene is really intense. And it became like a sort of bubble, like separate from the cast and separate from other people and stuff, which I guess was the whole point in the movie, and that's the only thing that needed to be conveyed, really.
And you also had, so many intimate scenes with her. Is that kind of weird to just walk away after the shooting is done?
Yeah, I guess it was always weird. I mean, like, it's such a strange experience doing that. I mean, like. It's weird. I mean, I was in the movie before that. I was like doing all these kissing scenes with a guy, and like it's even weird. Like I mean, it's always the same though. Like no matter really what you're doing, you're just like, yeah, it is kind of easy to just walk away. Like I remember there was this Spanish guy in this movie I did, and he was like, he just came up to me after we had this really intense like sex scene. And he's like, we have such a strange job afterwards, and it's like that's really funny. I'm sort of sitting like wearing my little dressing gown. I'm like, what am I doing? But yeah, no, it's quite funny. I mean, it's not. Yeah, you can always just walk away, I guess. Individually, not at all. But I mean, like groups of teenage girls that can be quite frightening, especially when they're like, I did a thing yesterday where I got out of the car and the whole street ran forward. And I was just thinking, like, wow, this must have been what it felt like to have like a medieval battle. It's great. It's like one of the few times you can experience that. It's like having an ambush. I mean, everyone's nice though who comes out. At least they're not just like horrible. At least not. I mean, I had a friend who was on a soap, and like she was like a bad character in the soap, and like the entire country it was saying like, "God, you bitch!" Like when she's walking down the street, and I mean, this is like, "Oh my God, I love you." I mean, if you just go everywhere in the world, everyone says they love you. It's great. I always would have thought, like from an outside perspective, if people are screaming "I love you" all the time, like, I would have thought your ego gets bigger, but it's like the opposite effect. Like the more people scream, especially because the movie's not out, like the more you just want to say like, listen, like just don't, don't, like seriously, it's not worth it. Like in terms of saying like you just feel like you have so much more to live up to. I don't know. It's a really emotional experience having people screaming at you all the time. Like something that I was in Italy, all these people started screaming in this bookshop, and like. Your immediate reaction is like you feel like you're gonna start crying or something. And it's like well, I can't start crying right now. And it's really strange. It's like so not how I thought it would. No, I thought I'd react.
And are those tears of joy, fear? Where do those come from?
I don't know. I think it's just when people are just pressing like loads and loads of energy, and you're like, it's like you can kind of feel it. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I guess it's the same thing as if you're acting in a scene, someone's like screaming at you or something. Like it's just having that energy. It's like overwhelming.
I just want to know, how did you come up with your American accent?
I wanted to do a bit of James Dean's accent, just because I wanted to do James Dean's voice. And it's this kind of mix. It's James Dean, John Wayne. I kind of wanted it to sound like old-fashioned. I mean, I was just watching loads of that movies.
And what was your least favorite aspect of filming Twilight?
Wearing the contact lenses. I have really sensitive eyeballs, and it took me about 20 minutes to get them in every single morning. And like 5:30 in the morning, when you're trying to poking your eye for 20 minutes, it's not the most pleasurable experience.
Can you walk away from roles easily, or do they kind of stay with you for a while when you finish filming?
Annoyingly, I always feel like I've really just figured out like how I'm supposed to play it within the last like 2 or 3 days of shooting. That definitely happened on Twilight, and I think the 2 jobs before that, I suddenly realized on the last day, I'm like, hey, can we start this all again? But yeah, I guess I can kind of walk away from it. I mean, it's easy.